Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metals market update, and for a very volatile, in fact, every day's been volatile recently, and this is Tuesday, May 1st, 2018, getting on to 1:45 in the afternoon. Interesting in this sense, before I take you anywhere, look at the size of the VIX range. It has suddenly just turned down. It has dropped quite a bit, actually, and with it, you've kicked up the NASDAQ, you've kicked up the Russell, you've brought back to almost unchanged the S&P, the Dow, which was down 300 more points than this almost. Take a look. It's come back. Metals haven't. Metals are sort of sticking, and if you'll notice, the dollar still up 57 points, and that's your biggest problem with the metals. The dollar staying strong, and interest rates, well, they are just staying very, very strong, and that weighs on the metal markets any way you want to go about it. We've been in a down thrust on the weekly gold chart. This 18-week moving average of closes, follow the arrow, is right over here. On this line from 1349 down, I'm simply showing you that the market has made a current top at 1349.90, and now it's around the 1307 level. Look at how prices fell apart. And what they've done is they were coming down to challenge these areas right through here. Do you see that? And now that that's gone, they're just fishing for stops. Who wants to come out and where do they want to come out? You've gone straight down from 1359 without a higher day. Now, what do I mean by a higher day? Not one of these days has a high that took out a previous day's high. It's rare. Normally, you'll get that back and forth action. Haven't had it. So I call that a vertical price drop. And right now, it's worth $52 roughly an ounce. That's quite a drop any way you cut it. The market got underneath the all-important 200-day moving average of closes. That is not good at all. So this market just sliced through it. Honestly, I'm not going to say like butter because it held it yesterday. But today it just couldn't do it. We'll see if it bounces back up to it tomorrow. But this market's in trouble. You can see you're under the lower Bollinger Band and riding that down. Now, what's the purpose of Bollinger Bands? Theoretical support and resistance, but they also were another part. You get from them often what's called the sideways look to them. And from sideways looks, you spin around in price, which you did here, and then you start breaking out. This is a breakout to the downside. It often correlates with catching up and getting an embedded reading in stochastics. Now, stochastics are a momentum oscillator. They travel typically between overbought and oversold. But when both numbers of the oscillator get under 20, and look at here, they're both under 20, and they do it for several days in a row, which this is now done. It's called embedded. Until the red line closes back over the 20, on rallies, there's generally aggressive selling taking place. Eventually, that unwinds, and then when that happens, you'll hear me say, look for price to make a run at the closest of the key moving averages. In this case, it would be the 100-day. If it gets through there, then the 18. But it hasn't lost that reading. This is a brand new bearish reading on it. The gold-silver continues to thrust to the upside, meaning silver is losing more than gold is. And as you can see on the silver, you're at the lower Bollinger Band. You are oversold, not doing what the gold did. Gold is locked in its bear trend now. This is an oversold market. But, folks, it just came from the 17 near 40 level, and here we are down about $1.30 or so. That's quite a drop this market has made. In the copper, it just keeps falling down to the lower Bollinger Band. That was what, if you get my subscriber video, I've been talking that I thought the market was going to go there, and that's where the market is. Simply because you had the momentum, not because I know what anything. Your lower highs, lower lows. At this point, why not go for the band? And didn't yesterday, it did today. That's all. Now you're oversold. I heard Wilbur Ross's statement as he's leaving, I guess, tomorrow or so, for China. And once they get there, he said he'll be right back if they don't make any headway. And when he was on with the hostess that was doing the show, I think it was Bloomberg, I'm looking and he just said, you know, intelligence property can't be taken. It's that simple. And you can't tell us one thing, you're going to open these things, do all these things, and they really don't take place. He's got his hands full also with Europe. Why Europe? Because the Europeans don't want to deal. They're saying that if they lower their car tariffs, they have to do it for other countries to do the same. You know something? Why doesn't everybody get rid of the tariffs? Real simple. You're not going to tell me Europe's a third world country that needs the protection they did after World War II. You're not going to tell me China's any longer an emerging country doing that. So I think we have different things that are going on through that, and that's where I'm going to leave it. I don't want to bother any of you with this. I'll turn that off as we're doing it. That was my mistake. I just about always do. So as I'm looking at it, I'm one that if they don't want to do it that way, there's another way. You know, and you play that game. But it doesn't seem to me right that Mercedes, we send the car there, it gets X tariff. They can send all the Mercedes they want here. Or, yeah, and admittedly, they build them here. Those cars are different. They're American origin. But there's plenty that aren't. Let's look at the Platinum. Lower highs, lower lows, riding the lower Bollinger Band, going down on the momentum. Momentum down on the palladium. What's the common theme we have in the metals? Look at the stochastics. Oversold, 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 oversold. One of them's embedded. That's it. So the common theme is that, and there's one other theme that is played right with it. The runaway embedded reading in the dollar index that just keeps shooting up. And as you can see, even the 100-day average and the 18 are coming together. The dollar was one of the favorite shorts starting 2018 out. If you're reading magazines, the thought process was U.S. would raise rates to the point the economy slows, maybe the Fed gets ahead of everything. Well, the theme today is the U.S. is going ahead with all that, while all of our trade partners are backing off in unison. They're not looking to raise rates all of a sudden. The Brits seem out of that picture. The EU just came out of the picture. Who's raising rates but us? So the dollar's going up because our economy's still okay, a real higher rate. But eventually, these high rates, they do weigh on stocks at some point in a cycle, so you got to be a little careful. We have a feature called Chart of the Day. Now, if you love the metal market, you like currencies, when we do these, and we do a different chart every day, sometimes a couple of charts each day, gives you an idea where you're at on a breakout to the upside or downside. This is not a trigger to get into a market. This is no more than where the market might go. It's sort of like Fibonacci. It's sort of like Gann. It's like other tools that are measurement tools, but not the trigger tool in itself. We have other tools for that. So if you'd like to see upside, downside, how they work, explanations of it, give us a call. You can go to our website, sign up for it, by the way. You'll see it right on the front page. You can click up here at any time or underneath us at any point. It says, click here for Ira's free information. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.